Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Aungelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Hey, it's Miss Dawn. You wondering how you can support our show, Mother-Daughter-ish? We have CashApp, we have PayPal, and we do have Vimeo. Support our show so that we can reach out to more women. Our goal is to reach and build a community of 1 million women. Why don't you come on and help us do that? Hello, mothers and daughters. I just really got something that I want to kind of almost put out as a PSA, a public service announcement for those of you mothers and daughters that are in business. If you have a great idea or you have a great something that you're working on that is kind of like your own intellectual property, please trademark it. Trademark it if you want to put it on a t-shirt. Trademark it if you want to turn it into journals. Trademark it if you want to put it on books. Trademark it if you want a wig line. Trademark it if you want underwear, shoes, earrings, anything where you want to put that name on to brand yourself. Trademark it. For example, I have a client who did some advertising with us when we first started our podcast, and he has a whole purse company, everything. And I said, where do you want to take the company from here? And he said, I've got these, 25, 30 different products, and I don't know where to go from there. I said, well, what if you created a whole furniture line in like Rooms to Go or something? Or if you created a baby line, and put it in some of the baby stores or even got it in distribution at Walmart, Target, or something like that. He was like, okay, sure, let's do it. And I was like, okay, but you need to trademark not only what you already have, but the new products. He had no idea. He didn't do it. And now somebody's using that name. Anyway, I think what made me think about this is I was minding my business again, y'all. And I saw Dream Kardashian with this, which is, I hope I get this right because I do not know this family like this, but the brother Rob Kardashian and Black China had a baby, and they named the baby Dream. And I saw a commercial, a full-fledged commercial about a digital type of iPad system where you could virtually play games with other people, and Dream Kardashian and Chris Kardashian had kind of made what we call like a FaceTime call, and they were in that. Well, the person in this video was explaining that when Dream Kardashian was born, Chris Kardashian immediately, not immediately, but immediately trademarked that baby's name. Now, I don't really know how the law works, but I thought if you're my child and the other person's child and you have 50-50 custody, that means you get to decide 50% of what we agree on, and I get to decide 50% of what we agree on. It's not you get to decide what we agree on and you take that and run with it. So I was I'm be honest, I was a little confused as to there's either one or two things going on. They took the name and trademarked it and dares her to sue them because they could drain her account, or either she said, okay, yeah, we'll do this and we'll all make money off of it and it's no big deal. You have the money to trademark it. I don't have the lawyers and the money and all of that wherewithal to trademark it. So you know me, I'm nosy too. I ain't gonna lie, when it comes to business stuff, I'm nosy. So here I am, go over to the USTPO trademark department, and I look up Dream Kardashian. And they have her name listed in so many products and things that they can do with this baby name that even if Black China tried to do a Dream Kardashian wig line, she couldn't even do it because they already own it. So I thought it was interesting. The other thing I thought was interesting is that, let me make sure I get this right. There is I would say a content creator, a very popular online person by the name of Roland Ray. And he's kind of funny. You know, he's in a wheelchair, but he's making the best out of his life. He's having, the best time he's on different reality shows. He's just done so many things. People know who Roland Ray is. Of course, a lot of people don't, but if you watch any blogs or any type of Instagram or anything, you know who Roland Ray is. So he's an independent person who does his own thing. Everybody knows him and all of his little phrases and his little vernacular that he uses. Well, Doja Cat, who is an American singer, and she sings a lot. She's very popular. She's just as popular as like a Nicki Minaj or a Cardi B or whoever else. SZA, all of those people. She's just as popular as they are, but she's in I guess you would call it the rap hip hop genre. I'm not sure which genre she's in. For some reason, now her and Roland Ray are not friends as far as I know, but for some reason, she has, in my opinion, stolen his phrase, "it's giving." One, that's a phrase that the LGBTQ uses, not mostly straight people. We do say it every now and then if we're trying to make a point so that the masses know, since the LGBTQI, the LGBTQI plus community has made their vernacular very mainstream at this point. But she has now stolen "it's giving," and I'll explain what that means in a minute. But she has stolen the phrase "it's giving," and she trademarked it. I looked it up. She trademarked it for shirts, hats, shorts, thongs, certain apparel, right? The way it works in the trademark division is that if you're going to trademark, you have to trademark under categories. So a trademark is not a blanket statement. You can trademark furniture lines. You can trademark clothing lines. You can trademark goods and services, products, things like that, like a car, vehicle, or a house line or whatever. You can trademark in different categories. And for every category that you choose, it's like anywhere from $2 to $350 each category. Like, for example, when we trademarked Mother-Daughter Ish, I made sure that I captured all of the categories that I felt were important for digital media and any type of media and products and clothing and furniture, just everything we trademarked our name for. You can look that up for yourself. And so what the phrase "it's the giving" means is just basically that, like saying something is on point, something looks good. It is giving you life because it looks so good. It is giving you excitement because it's amazing. It is giving mean that it is doing everything that it's supposed to be doing. That's another vernacular that LGBTQI plus uses is it's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. In other words, everything is on point. Okay. So these are just different pop culture vernaculars that you either want to learn or at least you want to know what they mean so that when someone says it to you, you will understand where that vernacular came from, because it's not vernacular that everybody that possibly actually uses. So when I saw that, I really was horrified with what Doja Cat did with Roland Ray's phrase, "it's giving." But I was more so shocked and appalled with the fact that Kris Kardashian can own every single aspect of Dream Kardashian. So let's say Dream Kardashian grows up to be the first female race car driver that happens to be of mixed race. It won't matter to Blac Chyna as her mother, because Kris Kardashian can take her and use every piece of product to gain and earn money off of them. And I guess what I don't understand is See, me and her would be fighting, and I don't mean in court. I mean like on the lawn. What I don't understand is how you going to take my baby name and trademark everything to own her. You basically are saying you own her life. You own the likeness of her name. You own the likeness of her image. And in this commercial that I saw, they literally were having a whole conversation. She was like, "Hi, Grandma. How you doing?" She's like, "Hey, baby." The only thing that creeped me out about the commercial is that Kris Kardashian was so mechanical. She did not seem like the loving grandma of how you talk to a daughter. She talked to her like she was her manager. She literally was talking at the baby as a manager. She wasn't giving her the "this is my granddaughter" talk. It was like, "We're here for a purpose. Come on, little girl, let's get to work." It was so mechanical. Again, I don't know much about the Kardashians. I know a few things. I know that Kourtney is the oldest, and she's married to the Travis Barker dude. I know that Chloe is the one that they say is OJ's daughter, and she is with the basketball dude. I know that Kim was married to Kanye, and they have 4 babies. Is there another Kardashian? And I know Rob Kardashian is the brother, and I think he's the only boy, and that he used to date Adrienne Bailon, who used to be on The Real. Outside of everything else, and I know Kim did a tape with Ray J. Yes, I saw the tape. But anyway, lackluster, not worth repeating. That's pretty much all I know about the Kardashians, and that Kris Kardashian manages all of them, and that Kris Kardashian was married to Rob Sr. Kardashian, who presided over the case for O.J. Simpson. Outside of anything else, as far as like knowing anything about them, I know nothing about them other than what the blog people say. But because I'm not in their life, and I think my daughter says they have a show or something, I never watched any of their show. I have never watched a piece of an episode, never will. It never excited me to want to go and find out anything about that family, because it just, wasn't for me. It's not for me. So I think on one of my episodes, maybe the one where I did the Nope movie review, and in the end, I said to you, all I discovered is that those movies, Jordan Peele's movies, are not talking to me. So I wasn't going to ever look for any other projects that he was doing. I'm giving up on wanting to support him. I feel the same way about the Kardashians. I never had an inclination to to want to follow them, because everything that I've seen that they've put into the world, they're not talking to me. I don't relate to anything they've ever done or said. I don't relate to anything that I've seen on the blog sites about them. I don't relate to anything about them. So, of course, watching their life on reality show would not be something that I want. But getting back to this trademark issue, if you're in business and you're just there to just be in business, to just say, okay, I want the freedom of being able to work for myself and not have a 9-to-5, but I'm not trying to take it any bigger, you can do that. But I will tell you this: if you don't trademark those important intellectual property type of things, somebody can get it before you. And just keep in mind, I don't care if you started your business in 1993. If I come along in 2023 and I decide I want to take over that image and likeness of what you're already doing, because you're doing it on a small scale, all I have to do is beat you to the trademark office and create all of my things that I'm marketing with under that genre. So you may have decided you want to now do pillowcases, but okay, that's fine. Do your pillowcases, but I'm going to do short sets, Again, if you don't trademark all of the areas in which you want to promote, somebody can come along and say, well, but I want to make doors. You're not making doors. You're selling pillowcases. I'm making doors with the name on it. So it's very, very, very tricky. And I will tell you, yes, it is expensive to get the trademark done. I'm very, very happy that I know how to do trademarks. So for me, it wasn't expensive. It was just paying, the quite costly application fee to be able to register us, but I didn't have to pay an attorney, a trademark attorney or anything like that, because I know how to do the trademarks. But my point is that if you have something that you love and that you're doing that you want to make your own and actually sell merchandise and things like that, you definitely want to trademark it. I also tell you another reason why you want to trademark is because if you don't have your own branding, then someone will put you in a branding category that really doesn't speak to you or of you as a person who's doing a certain way of doing your marketing or whatever. And again, the two scenarios that I just gave you about the Kardashians and the thing I just told you about Doja Cat and Roland Ray. Even let's take it a step further. When Kim Kardashian came out with her skincare line, there was a young lady in Brooklyn, New York, who had already been selling that same spelling and that same type of font and everything skincare line for 8 years before Kim Kardashian came out with it. And the Kardashians and their lawyers tried to bully this young lady and put her out of business over in Brooklyn, New York, and steal the name. And then they ended up not being able to, because the girl, I was so glad the girl stood up. She got a lawyer. She fought back. She told the public, this is what they're doing. They're stealing from me. And we took the side, the general public, me, the people, we the people. Yeah, we the people who are the little guys and don't have the Kardashian machine behind us. We voiced, the theft that Kim was trying to do. Here's the same thing with Steve Harvey's daughter, Lori Harvey. When Kim decided that she was going to change the name because the girl fought back, and she was like, oh, forget it. It ain't worth the fight. Now the public knows. Because, see, they think they can do these things. Certain business people think they can do these things undercover and that the public's not going to find out. But thank goodness there's social media so we can get the general public, we the people opinion on things. And so Lori Harvey, she started her own skincare line. I even see that they showed a billboard I think on Sunset Boulevard or on Hollywood Boulevard where Steve and Marjorie, or Steve and Lori, one of them, Steve, I know he's in it. He's he's on the billboard commercial showing how great and wonderful the skincare line is. But here's the thing. If Lori Harvey wasn't who she was and connected to Steve Harvey, I think the Kardashians would have been able to bulldoze her. But let me just tell you how weird that is to me. And this is why my circle is so small and I don't fool with people, because Marjorie Harvey and Kris Kardashian were best friends. Let me tell you how I know. Because I told you I don't know nothing about the Kardashians, but listen at this. I was watching Family Feud because, I love me some Family Feud. And when they do the celebrity edition, it'd be so funny because they be so dumb. It just be hilarious. But I was watching Celebrity Family Feud however long ago it was. And that was when the Kardashians and it was Kim Kardashian. It was Kim Kardashian and Kanye against Kris Kardashian and her mom and sisters and stuff. So Kanye had Kim and his family, like his cousins and stuff and people who work for him. And then Kris Kardashian, the senior Kris, she had her mom, MJ, and then all the sisters on her side. And I remember when Steve walked over to Kris Kardashian, he said, my wife's best friend. My antennas went up because I was like, oh, okay, so maybe the rumors are true that people were saying that Kris Kardashian was trying to manage Steve Harvey, and Marjorie, cut that off because she didn't want that going on. But anyway, so the fact that Kris Kardashian is best friends, because those are the words that Steve used, these are not words I'm making up. The fact that Steve Harvey's wife and Kris Kardashian are best friends, and if they're best friends, then that's almost like Lori Harvey and Kim Kardashian are almost like play sisters. So you're going to try to steal my skincare line right up under me? And we're supposed to be basically, quote unquote, air quotes in the air. We're supposed to be play sisters. I just thought that was crazy. But the public, again, we the people, fought back against that stealing thing. I think it's really, really hilarious how the Kardashians can steal and think they can get away with it. I think it's hilarious how musicians, and I'm not going to say which ones, but it's funny how musicians can steal the little folks' music, and they can steal the older music and use it, and then try to not acknowledge that they've stolen that music. We just saw Khalees. We just saw her complaining about the fact that Beyonce used a phrase from her Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard, that beat, da-da-da-da-da. So the fact that she did not get an acknowledgement or heads up that anybody was going to use that, even though, of course, when she was young, she sold all of her everything over to Pharrell and his team. But the fact that Khalees had to come out and say Beyonce's a thief, it's not the first time. The fact that Foxy Brown or Azalea Banks has had to come out and say, well, Beyonce steals all the time. She stole my music the last time and she didn't acknowledge it. So the fact that I love that we, the people, get to hear these things, because then we can have our antenna up. Because if somebody as powerful as a Beyonce can steal from J-Lo, can steal from Azalea Banks, can steal from a Khalees, and think because they're the giants and you can't do anything about it, I find it disgusting. But I also find it as somebody trying to say, you're the little dog, so you don't matter. Your little music is nothing compared to my big music. So I just find it just super disgusting. And, that's just me. But, yeah, trademark your important intellectual property. Trademark anything that you want to see on a banner, on a building, on a product, on a line of something, on accessories or things like that. Trademark it. And when you first start your business, money be skinny, and you might not be able to have the money to do that at the time. But I tell you what, you better try to figure it out. And don't be telling everybody your idea, because people steal your ideas. That's why when I'm doing any coaching and consulting, I have people sign confidentiality statements, and then I sign them in reverse and say, okay, not only are you not going to share the ideas and information that I'm giving customized specific to you, but I also won't share your plan and ideas with someone else and sell over your ideas so that somebody else can go and beat you to the punch. It's just not fair. And I get it. We don't live in a fair world. I'm not expecting us to, but I guess morals and common sense is not a common thing anymore. And so I guess you have to kind of do what works for you. And if you can afford to trademark your business, do it. I have to tell you right now, I meet people who have been in business and they don't have an EIN number, which tells me they don't pay taxes. They don't have a DBA, which tells me if you didn't go and pay the $20 for the DBA, you really didn't go and pay the $300 for the LLC, and then plus whoever did the paperwork for you if you couldn't do it yourself. So I meet people like that. I meet people who take donations from other folks and they don't have an official tax exempt organization, and they tell people that they're nonprofit and they're not. So people run business improperly, and sometimes it's because they really don't know how, and then other times it's really simply because they don't want to go through the process of the paperwork or hiring and paying someone their fee to be able to put the time in it, which is mighty funny to me that people will expect for a pure stranger who does this for a living to spend 5, 10, 15, 20 hours on their dream to help them to be a better company and earn more money, but they don't want to pay for that elevation. They don't want to pay for that time. It's like you have to pay for the time that some stranger is going to put into you, because they're pouring back into you by making sure you're straight. So the audacity that people, want to try to, let me pick your brain type of thing. No, you can't pick my brain. I'm so happy for the last at least 15 years I haven't gotten that dumb call about, hey, can I pick your brain real quick? Because I got that cleared up a long time ago. I had a lady call me and she said, hey, I was wondering if I could learn more about blah, 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 blah. And if you're available this week, we can go to lunch and I could pick your brain. And I said, what's your email address? So she gave me her email address. And I said, okay, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to send you an email. Don't worry about lunch. I'll pay for lunch, but let me send you my fee schedule. Well, now, I don't have money to pay for it, but I figured if we sitting down talking anyway, I could be like, okay, this is what I do for full-time living. So I told 15 years ago, this is what I do for a full-time living. And so everything that you want to pick my brain on, I've spent money, time, sweat, putting into learning and perfecting how to do that thing to be successful. So you can't walk around asking people how they're able to do all the great things they can do, but it's because they've put the time and the effort into themselves. But for them to put it into you for free is preposterous. Like I said, so I'm going to send you my fee schedule. And if you're still interested, let me know out of those, options that I sent you on days I'm available. And I'll take us to a really nice restaurant and I'll pay for dinner. Once you've paid your fee for me to meet with you, then we will get together and I'll take care of lunch. Like, are you kidding me? Can you buy me a meal and pick my brain? I have never been that hungry. That's why I don't frivolously and willy-nilly date people or go out on dates. I'm just not that hungry. I'm not going to sit there and have this little meal with you for you to basically interview me when I already know up front you're not the one anyway. So why would I even go? Like, I don't understand the girls that just go out just because they want a meal for the day. And then they have the nerve to ask for a meal to go so they can have something to eat later. And these guys do it. And then you wonder why they think that they should be expecting something from you. I've had people say, hey, let me take you out on a date. And I'm like, no, thank you. But, I appreciate you asking. And they're just like, but why not? You're not seeing anybody yet, but I'm not going to see you either. Like, I don't just frivolously just be out there with people because I'm very particular about my record. And my record also includes who you see me in public with. So I'm not just going to take everybody in public because I don't ever want there to be a mistake. I had to stop my oldest son from going places with me because every time I would go somewhere with him, people would be like, oh, my God, she's with that younger guy. They look good together. Or girls would be wanting to talk to him. But because I was with him, they'd be like, oh, well, no, he's got an older woman. So, or they would just think I was his girlfriend and wouldn't even look at no age difference or anything because people don't think I'm my age that I am. And so, there's been times where I've had to say, you need to call me mom in public like 2 or 3 times around people so they understand we're not together. And so eventually we stopped going in public doing certain things because it was messing up his Mac. I don't have any Mac, so it wasn't messing up. It was messing up his Mac. But I guess, to end this, I just want to say, absolutely, you need to trademark your business if you love it, if you care about it, if you want it to have longevity, if you want the items that identify to you to live past yourself, you want to do that. Because if you don't, I promise you somebody else will do it and they'll be successful at it and they will win at it. And then you'll be looking back saying, woulda, coulda, shoulda. And that's my show for today. And remember, if you don't know how to trademark, you can always take some time out, get on the UTSPO website, United States Trademark site, and you can read through each question. And even if you have to put it on save every day until you finish it, and it may take you a week or two, but I think you need to do it if it's important to you. If you don't plan on doing anything with it, don't worry about it. I'm only giving you examples of what happens if you don't do it. So I know you might be thinking, I can't afford to trademark my business. But on my end, I say you can't afford not to. All right, that's the show for today. Support us at mother-ish_ on Instagram. Make sure on Instagram under mother-ish that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll know when we get new shows out. And if you want to continue to support us financially, our Cash App is $mdipodcast. Bye.
Hey, it's Miss Dawn. You wondering how you can support our show, Mother-Daughter-ish? We have Cash App, we have PayPal, and we do have Vimeo. Support our show so that we can reach out to more women. Our goal is to reach and build a community of 1 million women. Why don't you come on and help us do that?